In order for your book cover to be truly effective, it's got to outshine every other cover on Amazon's or any other retailer's search results. If it doesn't look pro, your credibility and your sales are going to suffer. Now, if a professional book cover designer is not in your budget, you can still create a really beautiful, compelling cover using Midjourney AI. Now today, I'm going to give you the step-by-step. We're going to cover prompts, styling, formatting, copyright concerns, and I'm going to give you a dead simple trick to test your cover against your competitions. I'm Rachel Harrison-Sund, and I help people turn simple book ideas into passive income. So if you're not familiar with Midjourney, it is an AI image generator that creates images from the text prompts that you provide. So let's go ahead and set that up. So to start off, go to midjourney.com, where you're going to sign up or log in if you've already got an account. Once inside, you're going to need to choose a subscription plan. You can do this through yearly billing or monthly, and there are 4 different options ranging from the basic plan at $10 a month all the way up to the mega plan at $120 a month. Now, fortunately, you can use your images commercially with any single one of these plans. So if you're just getting started, start off with the basic plan at $10 a month and you can cancel this at any time. Now, once you're in, you'll go over to the left-hand menu and click on Create. Then you'll go up to the top and enter in your prompt. Now there's a few different settings that you can use here. You'll want to click on those and make sure that you've selected portrait. You can pretty much leave everything else as is, but if you want to play around with some of these things like stylization, weirdness, and variety, you can do that. I'm going to leave everything as is for now. Now, when you've got an idea of what you want your book cover to look like, you can create a prompt and drop it right up here. So for me, I've just completely pulled this out of thin air. This isn't a real book that I'm working on, but my prompt is professional and minimalist book cover design for a book about the history of writing throughout the ages using uplifting colors. And I've also asked it to include a quill and an ink pot, as well as a background texture of hieroglyphics. You're going to get the best results by adding as much detail as possible. A couple other things to keep in mind here. You want your book cover to instantly communicate the genre that you're writing in. Any text and primary imagery has to be legible at thumbnail size, because remember, when people are scrolling Amazon, it's very small. And when you're crafting an effective prompt, think about the genre that you're in. Thriller, romance, fantasy, business, whatever, color palette. What is going to go best with the topic that you're working with? Compositional elements. Are there things that you want centered? Do you want it to be symmetrical or asymmetrical? Minimalist versus maximalist. So again, tie it back to the genre that you are publishing in. And a great pro tip here, study 5 or even 10 bestsellers in your niche. What colors or fonts or layouts are working for them, and why do you think that is? Great way to get some inspiration, but also see how you can differentiate, because you don't want to be putting out more of the same. You want yours to look different. Once you've got your prompt, you can click submit. It's going to give me 4 different options, and it really doesn't take long. We're talking in under a minute. Now, as you can see, as I scroll down the page here, I've been trying different variations of that same prompt multiple times, and it's given me all sorts of different options here. Now, once you find one that you kind of like, you can click into it, and you can do a little bit of editing. So if you want it to give you some variations of this image, you can come down to vary, and you can click on either subtle for subtle variations or strong for stronger variations. And if you want to upscale your image, which you will definitely want to do before taking it to print, click on upscale. That's just going to make sure that your image is of high enough resolution for print. You can choose to rerun the same prompt again. You can enhance, so rerun a draft job at full quality. There's also an edit here where you can edit specific parts of the image with or without a prompt change. So I can just click into that. I can do some editing. I can, erase certain parts. I can restore the parts that I have edited. I can adjust the aspect ratio up here. So the best thing to do is just play around with all of these different options to see what you can come up with. Now, going back to my other examples, I quite liked this option. Now, you'll notice that there's no text here. Now, I could ask it to include text if I want, but I much prefer to add text afterward so that I can have full editing control of the text. Now, you're probably going to spend quite a bit of time inside Midjourney getting the exact image that you want. Of course, this is a completely made up book, so I'm kind of happy with this as it is. But if I was actually publishing this book, I'd probably be in here, half the day just mucking around and playing around with probably dozens of different options. So that's probably what you're going to do. But when you're ready, you're going to go up to the top right and click the download button. Now, what happens next once you're finished inside of Midjourney? Now, before we get there, if you want to learn how to generate passive income creating really simple books and then selling them on the Kindle Direct publishing platform, download my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low Content Book in Less Than a Day. I've linked to that down below. Okay, let's get into that dead simple tip that I was telling you about that instantly puts your cover into context with your competition. And then I'm going to be talking about the legal and practical implications of using Midjourney for your book covers. But before I do, if you're enjoying this, finding it useful, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Now, once you've downloaded your artwork from Midjourney, you want to take it into another design program. So this could be Photoshop, it could be Illustrator, it could be InDesign. I'm going to be using Canva. But before we do that, we want to hop on over to the KDP cover creator. This is going to spit out a template because we need a spine and we need a back cover for this cover as well. So choose your binding type. We're going to do paperback. Choose your interior type. In this case, I'm just going to do black and white. I'm going to choose white paper, left to right for reading direction, and I'm going to choose inches. For trim size, I'm going to make this a 6x9. And then I am just going to pretend that this is a 100-page book. Then I'll hit calculate dimensions. Now I'm going to download the template. And then I can open up this template inside of Canva. So I've opened up that KDP template just so I can see the overall dimensions that I need to create inside of Canva. Then I will click on create and I'll choose custom size. Then I'll enter in those dimensions. First, make sure you have chosen the correct units. So it's listed in inches and in millimeters. I'm gonna go ahead and click inches and then I'm gonna enter that in. Then I'll click create new design. From there, I'm gonna upload the book cover that I created in Midjourney. So I'll go to uploads and I've already done that. So I'll click on that. And then next, I'm going to upload the KDP cover template. I'm going to drag this out until it covers the entire artboard. Then I'm going to click on transparency. I'm going to turn that down slightly so I can see what's going on underneath. And I am going to lock it into position so that it can't be moved. Then I'm going to click on position. I'm going to go to layers and I'm going to move my book cover up to the top so that I have access to it. And then I am just going to drag it out and you can see all of the dotted lines here showing me where the front cover ends and the spine begins. And I'm just going to make sure that that looks centered. Now you may have to play around a little bit with the layering here and the locking and unlocking just to make sure that you can actually see what's going on. I have had to move my template back up to the top there. Once I'm satisfied with the placement of that front cover image, I'm going to get something on the back cover and the spine. So I'm going to click out of position, I'm going to click on elements, and then I'm going to add a shape. Now what I would probably do if I was in a program like Photoshop, I could clone this beautiful red textured background. I would probably carry that through across the spine and the back cover of this book. I'm in Canva, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag out this rectangle here, and I'm going to use the color picker to pick up some of that red. So I'm going to click on the color. Now you can see that Canva has very handily pulled out the colors from the cover. So I could choose any one of these covers. I really like this deep orange color, so I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to add some text. So for the front cover, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on text over here. So you can click on add a text box, or you can choose one of these default text styles. There's also some font pairings that you can use here. If you're not very good with typography, these can be a real lifesaver. But I'm just going to click on add a heading. I'm going to add my fake book title, A History of Writing. And I would like to change the font. So there's a lot of great fonts to choose from. I'm going to go with Georgia Pro Black. And I'm going to use black text. And I am going to shrink that right down. Bring this here. Now you're going to want to set up some margins. I am just going to eyeball it for now. I'm also going to choose my fake author name here. Now, if I wanted to include any text on the spine, I could do that, or any text on the back cover, I could do that as well. When you're uploading a book to KDP or any other print-on-demand platform, they will supply a barcode for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But just keep it in mind if you plan on including any text or images on the back here, and you'll be able to see that if you just take a look at your the cover template. I'll just move that back up to the top again so you can see this is where that barcode is going to go. So these templates are great for getting your positions perfectly. Now, when you think everything is positioned nicely, you can turn that transparency right down, see how it looks. And again, I don't love personally how this texture just ends here and goes into this solid color. I would most likely pull this into Photoshop, so that I could wrap that texture around the back cover as well. So here's that tip. You want to create a quick mock-up of your book cover inside the Amazon results page. This is going to allow you to instantly see how your book stacks up in comparison to your competitors. So what would someone type into Amazon when they're searching for a book like yours? In this case, I hopped on over to Amazon and I typed in a history of writing into the search results. This is what I've got. So I basically just took a screenshot of these results, hopped on over to Canva, plunked it in there, and now I'm going to take the cover that I created and I am going to plunk it in here so I can see. And I'm just going to put it on top of one of these books. It doesn't really matter which one. I would probably try it on a few different ones. But now I can see this is what customers are going to see when they're scrolling on Amazon. So now I can see, does my cover stand out amongst the competition, right? Things I'm looking for here. Is the text legible compared to theirs? Is the imagery clear compared to theirs? Is it attention grabbing compared to theirs? If you're not happy with the results, then you can make a few tweaks before you publish. Now, in this case, I think the colors are working really well. It actually is the most attention grabbing in terms of color. So I'm really happy with that. But one thing I'm noticing, and you're probably noticing too, my text is completely illegible. That could be a real problem. But the good news is I have discovered that now before publishing, right? If I'm looking at my competitors' books here, I can see most of them have big, bold text, and that's really working for them. So for me, if I was actually going to publish this, I would keep the colors because I think the colors are working very well. It's definitely the most attention grabbing, but I would have another look at the typography because that is not working well for me right now. So let's get into some of those practical implications. Now, AI content is allowed on print-on-demand platforms like KDP, but you must disclose their use. Another important consideration, you cannot claim copyright on your AI-generated artwork that you use on your cover, unless you employ substantial editing or modifications, and even then it may not qualify. So theoretically, what this means is that someone else could use the same AI-generated elements that you have used on your cover in a cover of their own or in some other format. Now, the full cover that you create, so the artwork that you create in Midjourney, plus the typography that maybe you create in another program, the spine, the back cover, all of those things combined might give you copyright protection, but it's not necessarily guaranteed. Now, the likelihood of having your cover ripped off is probably pretty small, but it is something you need to consider for yourself, balanced against the cost of a professional cover designer, or, creating your own cover using stock images, which by the way are also available for other authors to use on their books as well. So there's still the chance that another author might download an image from a stock image site that you have used, and they might still be able to use that on their book as well. So similar predicament there. Now, if formally registering your book cover for copyright is important to you, and you still want to use Midjourney to create it, use Midjourney as a starting point only, and then perform substantial edits and modifications outside of Midjourney. That's going to make it more likely that your cover is accepted for copyright protection. Now, once your book is ready to publish, the best thing that you can do to encourage sales is to get as many reviews as you possibly can. So watch this video next to find out how to get ethical reviews fast. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.